Warning. Thunder Talk contains foul language, adult subject matter, and is intended for mature audiences.
Thunder Talk exclusive.
All right, welcome to the first ever Thunder Talk commentary. Don't know if we're going to do something like this again. We probably will.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will, definitely. Yeah, welcome to Thunder Talk Goes to the Movies.
Whoa,
I think it's like I think I was doing the Wheel of Fortune.
Let's all talk that thunder. Let's all talk that thunder.
And get yourself a treat. Yeah, so we're doing commentary on the Netflix movie The Dirt, the story of Motley Crue as told by Motley Crue and the way that they want us to remember Motley Crue.
Yeah, this is based off their book, which came out in 2001, that was written by them along with some other dude that tied it all together. And they produced this film. They've been working on it for like 15 years.
Right.
And they finally got it out of development hell and actually turned out really well.
Yeah. It definitely turned out. I'll probably be a dick about some things on this.
Yeah, but of course, I mean, that's your brand.
That's my shtick. That's why y'all tune in. That's right. So, Motley Crue, what we're going to do is jump on your Netflix. I would advise maybe hitting play and then stop and then scrolling it back to 00.00. That's where we are going to begin all of this.
At the beginning. We begin at the beginning.
So elegant. So
thank you.
So perfect. Nice. All right. So without further ado, everybody, we're going to count it down. When I say play, hit the button that indicates play.
All right.
3. 5. Oh, you want to go for 5? We can go for 5.
5,
4, 3, 2, play. Okay, that's okay. All right. So,
not at that part yet.
All right, so 1 and then play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? In 5,
4,
3,
2,
1,
play.
Oh, okay, now we're going. I'm trying to do Kickstart My Heart.
LBI Entertainment. 10th Street Entertainment. Marvel Studios. Just kidding.
Oh, the 1980s. Yeah, I was there, kids.
I wasn't.
If I'm not mistaken, this whole part here talks about how the 1980s fucking sucked. And you want to know something? They did.
Until...
I've been there.
I haven't.
It's overrated.
I'd still love to visit the whiskey, though.
Oh, yeah, no, totally.
I've climbed through windows before. That would be Machine Gun Kelly, if you didn't already know.
Yeah, I want to know how they got rid of all his tats. Like, that's real Hollywood. That's real Hollywood magic right there.
Yep. Movies. Yeah. There's Vince banging somebody's girlfriend.
Yeah, he had a thing about that. I remember it was
a lot of things.
What was that reality show that both he and Corey Feldman were on? You remember that? I think it was on VH1.
Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew.
Maybe. Yeah, anyway, he and Corey Feldman were driving around some van. And Corey Feldman was like, yeah, I'm dating this girl, or I'm engaged, or we got married, or something. And Vince Neil was like, oh, yeah, I fucked her.
Yeah, that was in the book.
Female ejaculation.
Yes.
That's also all over the internet, though. Like, I guess in 1981 that would have been something, but... and I guess, how old are these guys to think that female ejaculation is... Let's put that in the movie, because we were there. We were Motley Crue, and we were there when a female ejaculated across the room.
They were like between 19 and 21 years old.
Honestly, I think they're kind of dating themselves with telling that story. This guy's a dick.
Oh, yeah. Nikki Sixx's stepdad.
So, though this movie goes with all four band members and tells their story, narratively speaking, we're seeing the majority of this through the eyes of Nikki Sixx, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is based on the book, The Dirt. He dropped a book, my God, 20 years ago, maybe, called The Heroin Diaries.
That was just 12 years ago.
Was it 12 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, it feels like 20.
For real, though. I see what they don't cover for time is all the times that his mom dropped him off at his grandparents' house over in Idaho. And that's where the song Nona came from, because he was like super close with his grandma, even with like the rest of his childhood being fucked up.
That's a cool little ditty. Isn't there an extended version of that? Nona? I know it's on off the is it Girls, Girls, Girls album?
I believe so, yeah.
It's the Theater of Pain. This gives a new meaning to learning that his first name is Frankie. Gives a new meaning, a new dimension to the song On With the Show. Exactly, from their first album. So a lot of this movie is hyperbole. A lot of it is fantasy. Some of it is omission.
Yeah. And a whole lot of unchecked true teenage angst, which resulted in a hell of a music career.
Yeah, and well, also, I think even more so, a fuck ton of adult debauchery.
Oh, yes. Because of said unchecked teen angst.
Yeah, right? So we called the mom, told the cops, mom stabbed me. And this is the consequence. He didn't go to a juvenile home, otherwise I'm sure that would have been in the movie, right?
Probably.
So that's the grandparents you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what was Nona about again? About hanging out with his grandparents? Like there was a goat or a llama on the farm named Nona? That was his name for
his grandmother.
That was named for his grandmother. You know, this kid thinks he has it bad, but I mean, look at all the F-bombs he's able to drop, like right on his mom.
Right.
You know, I'm sure if he started smoking, she wouldn't give him shit about it. This kid really has it pretty good, if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
I don't see what he's complaining about.
He even made a nice little metaphor in the book about it going from chocolate chip cookies and the Beatles to weed and Iron Maiden.
Yeah, right. I mean, that was goddamn when I was 12. I try to live like that, dude, and I got a lot of pushback for it. All right, so he's just aged. He's just gone through time.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
Making the mistake a lot of unwanted children and sort of professionally LeBron James makes, chasing ghosts.
Oh, dude, don't bring LeBron into this, okay? One, Nicky doesn't need that, and 2, I don't think his ego can take it. Okay. Did he go to L.A. looking for his dad, or did he go to L.A. looking to get exploited and then just happen to decide to call his dad?
I think he simultaneously was going for self-exploitation and reaching out to his dad. Multitasking.
Great song right here. Just the other night, some say it was suicide, but we knew.
Perfectly put over the scene where he legally goes from Frank Farina Jr. to Nikki Sixx.
Right. With a 6-string knife and a streetwise pride, the boy was a man before his time, and she knew all those dreams would come true.
By the way, Thunder Faithful, this is commentary track / kind of karaoke.
Oh, no, definitely karaoke. Yeah, welcome. Oh, my, 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 my. You know,
back when you could burn things indoors and nobody made that big fuss about it.
At the DMV. I know the dude. I know
cigarettes and licenses.
The courthouse he went to. My birth records are at that same courthouse. Is out right next to LAX.
Huh.
I've been in that building.
And now we're on Tommy.
Fucking Tommy Lee, dude. The avatar of privilege, right here.
Machine Gun Tommy.
Yeah, because we have 2 entirely separate conversations to have about this. One, we got Kells, Machine Gun Kelly, MGK. And then we got fucking Tommy Lee, dude. I mean, oh my God. You know, he's like Charlie Sheen without the press. Maybe he's not that bad. I don't think he's that bad. I'm sorry, Tommy. I didn't mean to go at you like that. But I mean, come on. You know, Pamela Anderson went down for that hepatitis. What were your test results? Oh, that was rough, dude. I almost wish I didn't say that. Those are my pants. You know, maybe it's like a fake it till you make it thing, because I'm thinking, God, I'd really love to wear women's pants. You know? But, I mean, either you pull it off or you don't, you know?
Yeah, and I saw this old picture from a year ago with me at Comic-Con with my black skinny jeans on. I actually forgot that I used to wear those, and I only stopped wearing them a couple months ago.
Is it because you're not so skinny for them jeans anymore, or?
No, they just started ripping at the knees because I've had them for 9 years.
What do you think safety pins are for, dude? Safety pins and patches.
Living in sin with a safety pin. Shout out Drew Carey.
Yeah, so I should just start wearing women's pants, I think, and I think that I'll like hype myself into like one day being able to look acceptable in them.
And here's Tommy gawking at Nikki as if he's already famous.
Right. Oh my gosh, yeah. And really, everybody, I want you to, if this can't be your first time watching the movie. If so, God love you. God love you. Tommy is like Nikki's biggest fan. You know what I'm saying?
For real, though.
That really takes the dude, like in reality, down a peg or two.
I mean, if you put them in like 3 decades forward and they met, Tommy would be like finding him at a Waffle House or a Dave & Buster's and being like, "Whoa, hey man, can I join your podcast?"
Yeah, actually, that's probably a Denny's, or a oh gosh, what's it called? There's one in Torrance. I still go there when I go out there. A Norm's. They're probably sitting at a Norm's right now. I'm guessing 1981.
Yeah,
Hollywood.
But if it was 2019 and they met
at a Denny's.
Yeah,
Or a Waffle House, depending on what side of the Mississippi you're on. Depending on like
depending on what side of Wade Hampton you're on.
Yeah. Live wire right here. Cut me in, I'm alive tonight. Out on the streets again. Tear me on, I'm a high tonight. Something you never forget.
the way he's playing that riff, it's like live pool noodle.
Yeah, right. Oh, and then there's the dude they kicked out of the band. I didn't even know they kicked a dude out, but they didn't really kick him out. He just showed up for auditions, right?
Yeah, he was like sort of in the band, and then they met Mick.
Like the only reason he got in the door is because he brought like a dozen Winchell's donuts and coffee. Winchell's Donuts, everybody. I think that's a West Coast shout out. Winchell's Donuts. Like, comment, and share. Winchell's Donuts.
Must be because I'd never heard of it.
Yep. That's a shitty band. And Tommy's like, fuck you know about Sweet 19. Shitty name, shitty band. I gotta say, dude, at the end of all of this, Mick Mars is the one I end up wanting to see the most on screen and get the least of. If you have your subtitles on, it just said "loud, complex solo." That's what they used to call me in high school.
Yeah.
They used to call me in middle school back when I was rocking this band so hard.
The whole "I was here first" argument.
Yeah, right. The subtitles just said "man crying."
Got him. I just can't believe I've been pronouncing it right all these years.
Oh no. Oh. But yeah, no, that's serious. Mick Mars. His back's all jacked. He got bone problems.
His whole skeletals.
Dude, my numbers are way more than yours. You talk to the mic. I just want to check levels, make sure everyone's paying attention.
I know. We're not pulling dick on this podcast.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's not like they can see us like pulling dick right now. So now the actor that plays Mick Mars, he's where do I know him from again?
You know him from the ill-fated Inhumans TV show, and everybody else should know him from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, no, I know him from Inhumans. Yeah. I'm not down the Game of Thrones tip yet. Yeah, no, he plays the shitty brother with no powers, who you actually end up agreeing with.
Right.
Which is why the show failed, because their villain was right. But really, more so, the heroes were just so brutally fucking wrong.
I know. Like, even though Killmonger had a point in Black Panther, like, the heroes weren't completely wrong.
Right, exactly. Fucking cover band? Dude, I play in 2 cover bands, you fucking assholes. What's wrong with that? Vince Neil. All right, so Mr. like walking IMDb, the actor that plays Vince Neil, who's he, and what have we seen him in?
Honestly, the only two names that I really know out of the actors in the band is Machine Gun Kelly and Mr. Maximus.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, Nikki and Vince.
That's not your fault for not knowing that, dude. That's Hollywood's fault.
I know. It's the band's fault they produced this fucking movie.
Dude, it's fucking God's fault that he told science to like make the Big Bang happen.
Right?
So I think Mick Mars would enjoy that statement. He's just this lovable nihilist who doesn't fucking like you, but you know he does. Fuck do you think? Fucking Vince Neil, everybody, about as deep as a bathtub.
Huh.
No, that's real, dude. Look it up.
Scientifically deep as a bathtub.
Fucking 69, bro.
You know, for all the sex they had, they sure get distracted from the women because of each other. Like Tommy ignored his date at Denny's or whatever that place was to go talk to Nikki, and then Vince sees Tommy and he's just like, "Who's this? Who's this woman?"
Treating women horribly is a real positive catalyst for these people. That's one thing I took from the movie.
Yeah, happened a lot with these long-haired '80s
like
fuckers.
Shit, learn a lesson. Don't learn a lesson. But then sell the idea of it happening.
Yeah. Treat a woman like shit, but you can still do coke with her by the bathtub.
No, that last scene, if we rewound it, where Tommy and Vince are like, "Hey, dude," it reminds me about 20 years ago. A buddy of what?
See, that's something to live with. She thinks it's important to say what we want in life. That's why you start a podcast.
Yeah, or a Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy. Now, I'm reminded of the time I ate some acid about 20 years ago and watched the original, had to be like Danish version of Pippi Longstockings. And it people talk about acid and like, "Oh, I'm a butterfly," and they jump out a window. No, that's nonsense. "Oh, I accidentally put a baby in the oven." No, it's actually, yeah, I'm not going to tell you to go do it, but I'm okay.
At first, I thought you said you ate ass and watched Pippi Longstockings.
I ate ass and watched some Pippi Longstockings, and it damn near melted my brain. I ended up like with my head to the floor sideways, just staring up at it with my mouth agog, occasionally just making sounds at it. Anyway, I guess that's the long way of saying I really wish that there was a substance out there where instead of Motley Crue just evolves and keeps going and the story continues, where when Tommy meets Vince at the pool party, all of a sudden it becomes Bill and Ted. So from now on, everybody...
No, you kept saying acid. I kept hearing you say you ate ass and watched Pippi
I did say I ate ass.
Oh, okay.
And that's the thing.
It sounded like from there you were going with acid, but...
A lot of kids are doing that these days, dude.
Right.
Yeah, everybody in the back of your heads right now, I want you to imagine Tommy Lee and Vince Neil, Bill and Ted's. I don't know. They should do it faster. Yeah, this is no
good. That's what I say.
But see, Mick Mars and Tommy Lee are like, well, then let's, you know what I mean? Let's change it up then. Maybe she had a good idea. But fucking, they're going to punish her for making him think differently about it. Mick Mars doesn't give a shit either. Nobody gives a shit. This is Hollywood, 1981. We got blondes screaming at us all the time.
For real, though.
It's all whatevs. And we prove them wrong. Turn me on.
Now
high
high to
tonight.
stuff, something you never forget.
Take
Take my fists, break down walls. On top tonight, oh no.
Better
Cut me loose. Better set me free, because I'm high, young, running free. A little bit better than I used to be, because I'm alive. Live wire, because I'm alive. Oh, live wire, because I'm alive.
Oh no.
Live wire, because I'm alive. Live wire.
Oh,
It's just like greatest fucking band ever.
dude, she's the one that made him fucking think sideways about it and fix it. Fucking roach. What is that? Is that Tommy Lee running around with a lighter burning roaches?
Yep. Aerosol can, hairspray.
Motley Crue doesn't give a fuck. Just like on the poster on the bottom, like, The Dirt, starring, produced by, casting, and then at the very bottom, just the tagline is Motley Crue doesn't give a fuck.
They can make living in a dilapidated apartment look cool.
I gotta say, Nikki Sixx's concept for the band that they have for their first two albums in terms of their videos and their image, that it's like fucking post-apocalyptic, war in the streets. It's like leather-clad, lighter punk fare.
Xmas.
It's like the end of the world happened, and it's pretty fucking cool. Barbaric but cool.
It'll piss people off.
So it was Mick Mars that came up with the name.
Yep.
You've been holding on to it, waiting for the right band. I got a pair of boots like that. I mean, that's the right attitude, to be honest.
Yeah.
As a former record exec myself, all the kids that came through my door with a guitar and a dream, the ones that explicitly stated we're going to fuck the audience in the face,
Yeah.
they're the ones that make it.
And also wanted to put up satanic imagery to piss people off.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because that always works if you're in ninth grade.
Oh, yeah, right. And in the 1980s. I just wonder how grammatically correct this is. That's the song Merry-Go-Round.
And round.
Also from the first album. Merry-go-round around, merry-go-round around, merry-go-round around, merry-go-round around, merry-go-round around. Oh, I mean, we can still keep saying merry-go-round around, dude. They say it like a bunch in the song.
Just for the rest of the movie.
You know what they totally do not get into in this film? Which, if I ever had a chance to meet Motley Crue, the first question I would ask them is, okay, first album, Motley Crue. It was self-titled, right? Live Wire was the name of the album. That's just the, right?
No, self-title is the 1994 album.
So their first album was called Live Wire? No.
No. Shit.
Oh, I'm feeling dumb here right now.
Oh my god.
I even forgot the point I was making. Oh, if I had a chance, and this is they're really this is one of those omissions I was talking about. Cowbell. Why so much fucking cowbell on the first album? So much.
Take Me
cowbell
to
on
the
that
Top.
album.
That's my favorite song off the first album.
That's a great song. Their first album is a great album.
I know.
From beginning to end. It's a very solid album. And then they fight people.
Too Fast for Love.
Too Fast for Love. I'm such a
The
dickhead.
I know.
There's no way I can edit this either because it's supposed to be just like a commentary.
It's okay. We just somehow blanked out on that. Every other day of our lives, we've known this fact.
Too
but
Fast for Love, of course. Jesus, we're posers, y'all. I mean, I'll take this one myself. You weren't even born yet. I mean, shit, I was only 3 when the album came out. but I bought it. You know, I purchased my gateway album, of course, was Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah.
I was 11 years old, and then decided, oh my God, I got to know everything about this band. And there was no internet. I just had to go to like a Sam Goody or the Warehouse or somewhere and go through the Motley Crue section and just grab the cassettes and look at the back and look at the dates on the back and try to figure out how many albums have they produced, like what's out there.
It's.
And then I grabbed the first album, and then Dr. Feelgood got me in, but it was that first album when I was 11 years old, Too Fast for Love. I was done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's interesting to me, the pre-internet age, when you bought an album going off of like one or two songs you heard on the radio, risking the rest of the album being shit.
No, dude, you're for real. And if you were still a little sketchy, you bought the single. And the single would have usually a cardboard wrap around it. It still had it was still printed cardboard. It had, it had pictures and words, okay? And it looked, highly produced. But the single would have, like Too Fast for Love, and then there would be a B-side would be like Change.
Yeah.
The side B of the single would be, a non-single.
Yeah.
One of the other songs off the album. So if you were feeling, apprehensive, you could go buy the single.
By the
those
way,
are like $3.
I can
$4.
tell you from personal experience, when you try to learn to play the intro riff for Take Me to the Top, you got to be real careful because your brain's going to want to play the School's Out riff at first.
Oh shit! I can totally hear that in my head.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like whenever I try in my mind to remember the opening theme, the bass riff to the TV show Barney Miller, it always ends up skewing Night Court. Like every time. Like I'll start out Barney Miller in my head, and then it always goes Night Court.
Yeah, there's Tom Zitot. There.
So his name is Pete Davidson. He's funny as shit on Saturday Night Live.
Doesn't he date Ariana Grande or someone famous?
He used to. Now he doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, that's yesterday, bro. You keep up. Yeah, his humor is very relatable in terms of talking about mental illness, personal mental health issues, things like that.
Yeah.
He's brutal, dude. He's brutal as shit, but it's 100,000% relatable. Oh, naked sex. She took the pants. And it's like, oh my gosh, they remember her being some kind of catalyst, and they remember like punishing her for it. Now, when he catches her fucking somebody else, which I guess they had like prearranged was an okay thing to do, she takes the pants, and the only thing that breaks his heart are the pants.
Yeah.
And these are selfish people here, children. Take me to the top. Top. Go listen to the song, people. Go buy the record. Been there.
Yeah. The record's called Too Fast for Love.
there, the
We
rainbow.
remember that now.
She's like, I got a boyfriend. This is really fun with the subtitles on.
Right. Sad. Yeah.
Oh my god. No, this guy, he's playing it like he's 12 years old. You know what I mean? Like Elektra Records literally sent a 12-year-old. I don't know. He doesn't take free blowjobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was once denied a bank loan, actually, finding myself in the same situation. Whether to accept or deny a freak blowjob out of nowhere. With your fucking suspenders. Guy looks like he belongs at a there's a very specific punk band I'm trying to remember right now. They do the song Barmy Army. Anyway, dude looks like a skinhead who should be fucking moshing out in Santa Monica. Listen to them breaking the fourth wall right now.
Yeah.
Mashing people, two real people into one sort of real person. None of this happened at the shitty apartment. Yeah, I don't fucking like Kiss either, dude. I can relate.
And he never actually got involved with Kiss until 1996.
Yeah, that's how they...
For their reunion tour. One of their many reunion tours.
You know, this movies like this, Bohemian Rhapsody, perhaps that new Elton John film that's coming out, I don't know when that's coming out this year. These bands are re-envisioning their lives. It's autobiographical. If you look at the credits, the band fully signed off on this. And it's not entirely true. There's a very high level of disingenuousness to all of it. Them writing their own stories, if you will. What I think about is this is based on the book, The Dirt. I don't know of any unauthorized biographies on Motley Crue that are out there. I remember from my own memory seeing the stuff on the news, knowing the story, reading the magazines, picking up what I could from MTV, the events really happening, and then seeing them from a different angle, from a more personal angle, getting the real dirt, but also maybe not quite the real dirt. I guess what I'm saying is, like, for historical purposes, when, like, 10,000 years from now, after the Fifth World War, when we look back on what was Motley Crue, will this be the primary resource?
Most likely, because...
Oh, he said coming, and then you could tell by her face that, yeah,
she came.
Raw dogging it. And that's his girlfriend. I'm sorry, you're going to respond to my totally convoluted like bird walk that I just took.
Oh, yeah, because The Dirt came out in 2001, back when there weren't really any rock biopics like that.
And Pete Davidson talks to the camera?
Yeah. And actually, this is kind of wrong to an extent because they did tell him about it years later. But and they actually have transcribed this interview in the book, The Dirt. And he said, "Oh, I don't. She's just a girl I took there. I don't really remember her. So, I mean, it is what it is. She was. They weren't like boyfriend, girlfriend, or anything like that. So I guess they just sort of changed that up just to add a little bit of drama to the movie.
All right. So,
but really, Tom Zatat didn't really give a fuck.
There's all a bunch of whatevs in real life.
Yeah.
You know, I lost a girl to Motley Crue. That's real.
Indeed.
We'll get back to that in a second. This is their second album, their first true first totally produced studio album, Shout of the Devil. This is the title track, which you can argue is anti-Satan if you want by listening, like reading the lyrics. You can't quite understand all of them, in my opinion. But there is a foreword to this that is very reminiscent of David Bowie's Diamond Dogs and the foreword to that. 10,000 peopleoids lay something on, rats the size of fleas the size of rats sucked on rats the size of cats. You know what I'm talking about? Shout of the Devil. There's this whole, I think it was Roddy McDowell that read it. It does this narration talking about.
You're talking about the intro track that leads into Shout at the Devil on the record?
Yes, yeah, right. It's almost like David Bowie's Diamond Dogs.
I think it was called In the Beginning or something like that.
That's right. In the beginning, something overpowered the evils of all their sins.
Yeah.
And now, many lifetimes later, they've destroyed, beaten down, ashes of rebels on bloodstained streets. Or was that David? Fuck. Ashes of rebels on bloodstained.
Something, children of the beast.
Upon the youth, be strong and shout at the devil.
Shout at the devil.
MTV, dude. Dude, I used to live and breathe MTV. Back around the age of 10. Till like maybe 14, 15. Yeah, no, when I was 12, I had a girlfriend who was 12. And I'd ride my bike out to meet her like after school or on weekends, and we would hang out. And this is back when I had my Motley Crue hat, my theater or Dr. Feelgood T-shirt, and my Theater of Pain fucking pinky ring, dude. So sweet. And she was like, "Oh my God, you're fucking rad. You're cool. You're a stoner." And I loaned her a couple Motley Crue tapes, and she listened to them. And then she listened to them, and then I guess she knew through somebody else or whatever, some kid in her actual neighborhood was like 13, I think, and I forget his name. He had some weird fucking Russian first name. But yeah, he used to listen to Iron Maiden and Motley Crue and Metallica, and was like 3 doors down as opposed to like, 3 miles away on a bike,
Yeah.
And yeah, I know she totally left me for him after listening to Motley Crue. She was just like, well, and then noticed like her brother's friend up the road was into all that shit, but even better, and he was closer.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
Couldn't get attached to anybody in the 80s.
No, you're right, brother. You're right. And here's where they hung out with Ozzy Osbourne, and Ozzy Osbourne did some Ozzy Osbourne stuff.
Yep. This would be the Ozzy around the Bark at the Moon Ultimate Sin era.
Holy shit, dude. Fucking 10 points to you. Nice.
10 points to Gryffindor.
God, fucking yeah, Bark at the Moon. That's one of the songs that stuck in my head. Then when he's found what he's looking for. Bark at the Moon.
On regular rotation in my Halloween playlist.
Nice, as it should be. You know what I turned on to hard last Halloween was the soundtrack to the original Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, nice.
Another conversation, but fucking evil synthesizers.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Ozzy giving them wisdom, ?
Yep. From his lifeguard post. He didn't say of what, but they're about to find out.
So the point of this scene is to show that these are Motley Crue's teachers, mentors, if you will, people that they look up to as examples.
Yeah. As well, Ozzy should be.
What's interesting is Ozzy damn near created with Sabbath, and certainly with his own solo career, the mainstream idea of being this satanic figure, if you will. But if you listen to original Sabbath, if you listen to the not bullshit, I'm sorry, but if you listen to some of the stuff Motley Crue did, like on Shout of the Devil, that kind of stuff, listen to most of Ozzy's later stuff, it's more like the heaviest, most agnostic Christian rock you could think of,
Yeah.
Sucks. Okay, so this guy is like, oh my God, I've got so much cred, and Motley Crue was the worst. When at the same time, he had to have been completely enabling them. Like he was the guy who was in charge of helping them.
And he's been brought up on drug charges before.
Right. That video they were just shooting with them dressed like these post-apocalyptic, like L.A. street warriors.
Yeah, looks like kill.
And like the savage women of the of like the Thunderdome Sunset Streets. That was actually those shots that they were getting were very faithful to the original video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Connect the dots. Yeah. They were allowed to behave this way. Enabled. And I'm sorry, you out there, the listening audience. You're like, yeah, fucking no shit, Dan. Either say something that isn't stupid and obvious, or let me get back to my movie. You know, in terms of like fun, shitty press versus what it actually cost for them to like buy this guy a new car and to buy the hotel a new hotel room, it all worked. White privilege, dude. White privilege. Motley Crue. With that, I'm gonna go pee. Sexy Thor, if you want to.
Alrighty.
I mean, y'all don't need to know exactly what I'm doing. That's kind of foul, actually. I apologize. I'm stepping away from the mic. Take it away, boss.
All right, and here they're at the mud wrestling competitions at the Tropicana. I believe it was actually in Girls, 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 where Vince mentioned he lost his heart at Tropicana. Tropicana, where I lost my heart. I believe that is actually where he met his first wife, Charisse. Oh, and here we're about to get to a very dark part of the movie. And there's Razzle, the drummer for Hanoi Rocks, another glam rock band, enjoying himself a good free blow job. Well, we're back to more Tropicana stuff and the Looks That Kill video. And again, shit's about to get real dark, guys. Lightning Lad's back, and he just missed a little roundabout Nikki Sixx was having with somebody and snorting coke off of her behind.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been there, right? I'm stepping out again. Or you know what? I'm taking you with me.
There's Roxy, still with some coke residue on her behind. Nikki just walking away awkwardly.
Yeah, I'm gonna step out for a second. But yeah, this whole deal here, this girl turns out to be horrible. and Tommy punches her, but she's already bad because she says some bad stuff
about Tommy's mom.
But then also has sex with Nikki, and I don't know. I'll be back in a second. Why don't you go ahead and you do the heavy lifting on this one, bro?
So I say, give me the heavy lifting while we get to the dark stuff, like what Tommy's about to do, and then later on what Vince is about to do. Something real bad's about to happen.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, hey, Tommy Lee's a piece of shit, everybody.
Yeah, and his whole Pam Anderson era could be a whole movie in and of itself.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah. No, yeah, if the only criteria is to slap a woman is to have them say some really critical things about their mom, then, I mean, then there's at least 3 therapists that I would have been charged with assault with.
Yeah, he could have just maybe called her a cunt back, or maybe just ignored it. But
don't
he
use
went
that.
straight for the slap.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that word, dude. I'll edit that out.
They just heard it on the movie, though.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't use it if it wasn't on the movie.
Yeah, yeah, right. Go to the bathroom, dude. Yeah, so back before Uber and I guess taxi cabs, you had to drive. You had to go out and drive drunk for your booze. Real frontier kind of times, everybody. There's another great song from their first album. Well, Sexy Thor's not here to reinforce my bad behavior, so I'm not going to sing it for you. Yeah, so check this out. So, like 3-4 minutes later, after we see him slap his girlfriend, he's rewarded with Heather Locklear. What kind of message is this movie sending to the young women of America? Fall Guy, yeah, and I knew a guy that wrote for the TV show The Fall Guy. No, she's from T.J. Hooker, everybody. You gonna get some Star Trek crossover, also starring William Shatner. I knew you from MTV. You're Winger or White Lion, one of those silly bands. White Snake. White Snake.
And can we just marvel at the fact that she looks spot on to Heather Locklear too?
Yeah, you think so? Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have as big a hair as Heather Locklear had, but pretty freaking close.
What a shitty conversation right here. They're totally dissing Cyndi Lauper right now. Because it being the early 80s, it's already implied that homosexuality is not a good thing. And that Boy George would be the equivalent of Cyndi Lauper. And then poor fucking Vince gets in a car wreck, kills the lead singer of Hanoi Rocks.
The drummer, and spoilers.
Oh, the drummer?
Yeah.
No, he's the... Anyway, Hanoi Rocks, everybody. Go check that out,
Yeah.
I guess. And cripples 2 other people for life. Now, they thread this with some kind of cosmic karma payoff based also on real-life events later in the film. And that's also totally flawed. Oh, by the way, Sex Thor. I fucking love Motley Crue as a band, as human beings. It really brings up, the John Lennon question.
Right.
You know, not that they were anywhere near John Lennon in terms of like songwriting, but in terms of just being an evil prick while also creating super memorable music.
When your narcissism won't even let life-altering events ruin your career.
No, that's right. That's right.
He fell asleep in some corn syrup.
Oh, that's what they use for blood in horror movies. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Otherwise, I thought that'd be like way fucking esoteric. No, they were crippled for life.
It's pretty
go-
critical.
Go look that up, everybody.
Go read the dirt.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, Vince Neil's stint in prison and dealing with this from the perspective of Nikki Sixx. Again, dude, that's privilege right there. Bought his way out of it. The label bought his way out of it. Because I had naked women giving me heroin.
Not with that ass, but something up my veins.
You know, I've never heard a better explanation or seen a better reason to actually start trying heroin.
I know the way he describes it.
Yeah, right. Are you trying to get me to do heroin or not do heroin?
I know, like you read the Heroin Diaries or you
Where we
listen
going
to the soundtrack, it's just like, holy shit. Speaking of which, can't wait till the Heroin Diaries Broadway show comes to the Peace Center.
Is that a joke or is that real?
No, that's real. He's actually developing a Broadway show.
Are you
for it.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Front row seats, dude.
Yeah.
Let's call him up. See if we can get in on like his street team.
I know, right? Or get us press passes.
So it's the man's fault. The man, played by Pete Davidson, made him do it.
Doc McGee playing the role of good guy.
Well, it establishes that they're blameless. You know, they have no responsibility. Yeah.
It's funny because you'd see Pete Davidson and you think he'd be the hero defending them. He's just like, get him back on the fucking road.
Right.
But you know, he's got shitty bosses, so he has to carry out the will of his shitty bosses.
Hey, did you know that
It's life.
Well, I mean, maybe he's a dreamer. Maybe he's got a heart of gold. Maybe he had to tell them to go on tour high, so his bank account wouldn't get low.
Thunder Talk parody songs, everybody. Vince looks ready to both play golf and rehearse at the same time.
Now, just like in that first scene when they first brought him on, they're like, so here's your lyrics. Sing it. Yeah.
So your nose isn't still in jail.
Yeah, right. That reminds me, I just read an article that there's a whole prison scam by the prisoners that they'd seen in multiple prisons where inmates are getting drugs into the prison sewn into the body of dead rats.
Isn't that how Resident Evil started?
Art imitates life, imitates art.
The Japanese know everything, man.
You can't take it anymore. You can't take that Coke anymore.
Because it was actually heroin.
Oh, that's right. That's a dick move, actually.
Yeah. It's like if I hand you a bottle of Corona and it turns out to be my piss.
I did that to somebody. That's no joke. It wasn't piss, but this is back when I was a big Motley Crue fan. I was 14, partying with like these 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds one night, drinking, getting high, and all that. And me and a couple of friends of mine, Stephen Whitby, if you're listening, and Ken Medaw, we all took turns urinating into a bottle of like a 2-liter of root beer. There was maybe about 10, 15 ounces of root beer in it, and we added about 15, 20 ounces of urine and handed it to this guy and told him, oh, dude, it's got all kinds of shit in it. It's got, you know, Guinness and gin and just any kind of liquor, alcohol our 14-year-old minds could think of. And yeah, guy sat there and pounded again. We were at a party. It was a pretty dick move, actually. Oh, that's his mom calling.
While he's itching for heroin.
So Tommy Lee's a good guy again? You know, I'm not going to lie.
He's turned babyface.
Machine Gun Kelly really crushes it. What he wasn't he in SLC Punk 2?
No idea.
I haven't seen it yet. Looks like I wish I had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
See, now, what I love about this scene right here is Vince admits what I've always known and always suspected. And that was Theater of Pain was a fucking bad album.
Yeah.
It was a bad, boring album. Yeah. Smoking in the Boys' Room, Home Sweet Home.
Wonderful songs.
Those were the singles, for sure. But the rest of it was pure fucking filler. Even as a kid at 12 years old, going back, into their back catalog and buying up albums. Theater of Pain, I think I listened to the whole thing the entire way through once.
Right, same
just
here.
just bored with it.
But yeah, Doc got a tattoo of the original album title, Entertainment or Death, and actually came out with a live album roughly late 2000s, early 2010s, and it's called Live Entertainment or Death. So eventually his tattoo became legit.
Oh, okay. Well, good for him.
Good for you, Doc.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Girls, Girls, Girls wasn't a great album either. Had a few songs.
Yeah. It had more awesome songs than Theater of Pain, that's for sure.
Yeah. Girls, and the song Girls, Girls, Girls is not really one of them. I walked into a strip club several years back, and it wasn't even Girls, Girls, Girls. I think it was Wild Side or something. It was a Motley Crue song playing. And as I was walking up to the front, where you pay to get in, I said, ironically, to the young woman running the register, I was like, hey, a Motley Crue song playing at a strip club. Who'd have thought, right? And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, Motley Crue, strip club music, Motley Crue. She's like, Motley Crue's a great band. And they have a lot of great songs. And we really like Motley Crue here. And I was like, oh. Thinking that she'd be, hey, if Motley Crue taught me one thing, don't try to be ironic at the strip club.
Huh. Even this itinerary is in the book.
What, like 5:30 p.m., wake up, 6, have breakfast, 7:30 p.m., kick Pete Davidson in the nuts?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny that they mash up 85 to 87, Theater of Pain and Girls, 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 those two albums. Kind of plays out what Vince just said on the screen and what we're saying right now. Those two albums were pretty... Seriously, don't try to be ironic at a strip club. It's no, you'll get no currency there. You'll get no traction.
Doesn't go over well.
Oh, but she just made me put my penis in her mouth while I'm talking to.
I know. I was just stuck here talking on the payphone.
Yeah, right. I've got that tattooed on my chest, like in Old English font.
Drink, snort, and fuck everything in sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it in prison.
That's the kind of sleeping schedule when your concert is essentially your lunchtime.
Yeah, pretty much we're like early lunch. No, you're right, yeah.
Yeah, early lunch at 7:30 p.m.
No, I would be so high functioning. If my lunchtime could be 9:30 p.m., I'd be Nikki Sixx. I'd be two Nikki Sixxes. I'd be Nikki Sixx on the shoulders of Nikki Sixx, walking around like Master Blaster.
Nikki 12.
Yeah.
Nikki 36.
Do the math, everybody. Do the math. And then it was his road dad who handcuffs him to bed. First thing, it's kinky shit, and it's nope.
Gets so fucked up that Doc basically becomes your Jason Voorhees. With a schedule like that should really fill that big old emotional hole inside you.
Yeah, right? And one thing about this film, is it's there. I think it's not a cautionary tale. Most 80% of this film is bragging. You know, it's a bunch of young middle 20-somethings that are all like, "Fuck yeah, rock star! That's how it's done."
I know. If you didn't already have the common sense that you probably shouldn't live like this, then you'd think this was an instructional video.
Right. In the age of the internet and tweets, Facebook, everything, information is being so instantaneously passed from like event to public. I don't think the labels allow bands to behave like this anymore, do they? Like there's things in contracts saying like you're not gonna show up on the internet having sex with 3 people doused in coke and Jim Beam.
No, from what I understand, bands today in the modern rock tour circuit, they're all eating healthy, drinking vitamin water, working out.
Yeah, their families come with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe hanging out, playing some Madden or something.
Yeah, right. No, dude, these are the good old days. So this never happened. Doc never brought his mom to him at Christmas time because you could see all the Christmas stuff in the lobby.
Doc actually never met Nikki's mom. The way Doc got fired, as told in the Dirt Book, was that because he was up on drug charges as part of his sort of probation or whatever, he had to set up an anti-drug music festival in Moscow with all the bands that he manages, Bon Jovi, Scorpions, Crew, not Kiss, and do a whole thing. And Motley actually fired him because he made Bon Jovi the headliners and not them, and their fragile egos couldn't take it.
Got it. I want to find this version of the song. Do you know anything about it?
I don't. It's not even on the soundtrack because I was actually playing the Dirt soundtrack on Spotify a couple of days ago, but this version's not on it. As he takes a swig of vodka.
Such a lovable nihilist. I mean, it really begs the question. Do you think William Shatner was at this wedding? Being T.J. Hooker? Heather Locklear. Heather Locklear.
Yeah. Huh.
Being that they were co-workers, co-stars. You know what I'm saying?
They probably weren't buddies, though.
God damn, I wish William Shatner popped up on the screen right now, breaking the fourth wall, telling us his perspective of the Motley Crue, Heather Locklear wedding.
Well, that Nicky fella, he couldn't stay awake to save his life.
Get it together, Nicky. Come on. We're all rooting for you. Oh, you know what? From some angles, yeah, she does look pretty spot on, Heather Locklear. That'd be cool if they had like Forrest Gumped her in. You know?
Right.
You can't believe he was shooting up at your wedding. Dude, I shot up at your wedding.
Huh.
That's supposed to be Slash, isn't it? That's definitely supposed to be Slash. See that?
Yeah.
On the couch right there?
Yeah.
Even
this
if
was
it's not in the
87
book,
too, so Appetite for Destruction had just come out.
Would have just dropped. Exactly. He was semi-famous prior. He was Michael Jackson's guitarist on the Bad Tour at least the European leg. You want okay? So the heroin is what's in the spoon. That vial he just pulled out. Do you know what that is? Distilled water.
Huh.
Pure distilled water.
Freebasing 101 for Thunder Faithful.
It's not freebasing, bro.
Okay.
He's cooking up. Freebasing is to smoke rocks out of a glass stick. That's.
Is it a glass stick or is it a bong?
It's a glass stick. It's a glass pipe designed specifically for freebasing for smoking rocks. Totally, this is something else entirely. No, you put your junk in the spoon. You add a few drops of distilled water. You do not want to use tap water. Even if you're going to boil your water, you have to make sure it's still filtered if you're going pro. And then you, drop the water in with the powder. You cook it until what you see it do there. And that's one thing about this movie. This movie is very faithful and honest when it comes to sticking needles in your arms and injecting drugs into your body. I mean, maybe necessarily not that shot, but the first shot where he shoots up, the camera doesn't move. I wish when the naked girl butt came in and gave him the heroin, that scene. We stay on him the whole time when that dude took a needle and probably shot B12, in terms of the actor and on stage and such, but props to dedication to your part.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out something to talk shit on right now.
I know.
That loss.
Just like the movie just got super fucking serious.
Well,
Again.
yeah. And this dude's like, nah, fuck that.
Nikki
I
fucking
saw this in Pulp Fiction once. Let me try it again. Uma Thurman worked there. Okay, there we go.
Ow.
Find a nickel for every time. I had to look my weeping family in the eyes and say, I'm done with drugs. I'm done with women. I'm done with the road. Okay? I'm ready to commit to Jesus. Let's go to therapy, baby. And then I just go home and shoot up again.
I don't need the drugs need me.
I remember at the time, years ago, he was interviewed and he actually said he went home and he shot up whiskey, like straight bourbon, because he didn't have any smack. He
Yeah.
went home and he shot up straight bourbon, passed out, woke up, and then decided to get his shit together. Because he was so personally embarrassed about shooting up whiskey.
Yeah.
That's not in the movie, is it? That's like the rock star equivalent of chugging Robitussin. You know what I mean? Total poser move. That's why it's not in the movie.
I'm pretty sure he shot up in his dick before.
Yeah, I'll let you follow up on that if you want to.
No, that's it. I'm pretty sure I read in either The Dirt or
That he shot
Heroin
up his
Diaries
dick.
he shot up the vein in his dick.
Yeah. Well, then he's doing the whole dick thing wrong.
That's the guy that needs Danny the Dick Kicker.
That's right. I don't know, dude. Same old situation. To me, that's one. I know they dropped a single for that, but I always felt that was one of the filler songs. I thought Dr. Feelgood, that half of Dr. Feelgood was a great album. But that's not a popular opinion. Most people credit that as being one of their most solid albums. They push each other, but they still love each other. It's real super positive now.
I know. They're all sober. They're all positive.
But then all their wives leave them at the same time. Metallica sang the same story about when they made the Black Album. How they went in sober and dedicated, and all their wives left them, and they've spent twice the amount of time on the album, that kind of stuff. She has a Filipino girl she claims is a friend. I tell you boys, you just got to laugh. Does that mean she has a girlfriend who is specifically Filipino? I mean, that's the same question I asked 30 years ago. I'm not trying to be a dick. It's an honest question that I want to know the answer to. God, I wish I was old enough.
Yes, it's actually her girlfriend.
Yes, yeah. I know we got to bring race.
Who's
into
her
it.
romantic / sexual partner?
I wish I was old enough to go see this tour. I mean, I saw Guns N' Roses in '89. I've talked about that before, when they opened for the Stones
Oh, yeah.
at the Coliseum. If this were the Metallica movie, Lars would be out like buying art and then defending why he buys art to his natty ice swilling like fans who are like, "What's that movie? Why you guys have a therapist now? What's going on?"
Yeah.
That's a Metallica movie. They ended up getting a therapist
Some kind of monster.
who, and I don't mean this as an insult, but the therapist looked like my Uncle Bob. Love you, Uncle Bob.
Check your email. What's an email?
Well, now isn't that management's job to let you know what the fuck is fucking going fucking on? I mean, why is
I
that?
know.
Why you got to put that on Nicky, man? Nicky's fragile. He's just coming off the junk. You know, he's in a real.
I know.
He's in a new kind of headspace right now.
Nikki doesn't have AOL yet. AOL still got like 5 more years.
Well, then go snort some coke out of a woman's butthole. No one's stopping you.
Yeah. Or maybe just right off her ass cheek. That might be more sanitary.
So Vince Neil's problem right now is it's no fun because we're not snorting coke out of buttholes. You know?
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be like,
he has to do this boring going up on stage and singing great song shit.
yeah, and then maybe giving a fuck about, his wife and daughter and, or at least his band and his income. Yeah, Mick Mars.
Indeed.
So Vince is like, oh my God, this is bullshit. I don't want to keep working. This is awful. I got to get home. And then it's like, oh my God, this is bullshit because it's no fun. Because there's no coke and buttholes as he pounds like a shot. And then it looks like he's the one who he goes home to be like, my family. And they're gone.
Life's no fun on probation.
God, I mean, it isn't that I hate that I love Motley Crue. I love that I hate Motley Crue. Because, honest to God, if you look at not only their personal lives, but also the image they project, it's like, buy our albums, love our music, know that we are a Motley Crue. We are despicable people. Right?
Right.
I mean, it's their fault, not mine. Uh-oh. By the way, Pearl Jam has just invaded. We are now in Nirvana times. This is post first Lollapalooza.
This is roughly decade of decadence. Somewhere in between the Don't Go Away Mad Go Away video and the Primal Scream / Home Sweet Home 1991 version.
God damn, dude. You're Johnny on the spot with that knowledge. You're totally right, though. No, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, look at Vince's
you're talking about
Tommy's hairstyle.
My 7th/8th grade, all right there. Yeah, you're 100%. That's exactly where it all falls in. This is a period that MTV referred to as the Metal Meltdown, and they would have regular updates on MTV News about what metal bands were breaking up, and then you would tune in to Headbangers Ball at 11 o'clock Saturday nights to hear Ricky Rackman give you like, this band, Warrant is broken up. Poison doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Rat is gone. Cinderella gone. White Line gone. And they called it the Metal Meltdown. And I remember Headbangers Ball was a pre-recorded show, right? Like they'd record a day or so telling about the bands that had broken up. But while watching around midnight, it began scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Earth-shaking news from Motley Crue will be going live soon. Please stand by. And it scrolled across the screen for a good 30, 40 minutes. And then just before 1 a.m., Ricky Rackman live comes on television saying, Vince Neil is no longer with Motley Crue. Motley Crue has fallen. And it was like, you hear about all the other bands that were falling to grunge, right?
Yeah.
The entire hair metal scene was just in total free fall. And then it was like, we're breaking in live. This was like almost 1 a.m. on the West Coast, right? We're breaking in live. It's like once Motley Crue had fallen, like that was it. The Metal Meltdown, it was over. Grunge had now taken over. Hair metal is over. Only 2 bands survived that. And that was Guns N' Roses and Metallica.
It's like, if you're living in the DC universe and you hear, oh, the Teen Titans have fallen, no, Young Justice has fallen. It's like, okay, whatever. And it's like, yep, the Justice League is fucking done. You're like, oh, fuck, that was it.
Yeah, it was the Snapping instead. The only survivors were Axl Rose and...
Axl Rose.
And Axl Rose. Yeah.
No, because Slash and Duff still stayed in the band until 1996. So.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was the User Illusion 1 and 2 and the Black Album came out right.
And Countdown to Extinction.
Happening. Are you talking about Megadeth?
Mm-hmm.
Megadeth quietly just went away, dude. Countdown to Extinction was their last big album. I wouldn't say they were a casualty of grunge, like outright. Like we didn't see their plane go down. They survived. They maintained as a band. Shit, I saw them in 1990. I saw them in 1999. Open for Motley Crue.
Yeah.
To an embarrassingly undersold crowd. They could sell now. It's all come back around. The kids want Motley Crue back, but back during all that.
Def Leppard never broke up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. But they did definitely go away for a while, right?
Not really. They were pretty consistent.
Dude, and look at their album in terms of album sales, in terms of presence. You know what I'm saying? Def Leppard fell off the radar after grunge. Same thing with Megadeth. They still maintain and have enjoyed a renaissance for sure. But even while Motley Crue was figuring their shit out, they went away.
Yeah, but roughly 2004, like all the bands started it. At least, record sales have been
picking back up.
Been fucked since then. So nobody even pays attention to that. But as far as arenas and all that, and ticket sales, like Motley Crue, Def Leppard, ever since the early 2000s, their sales have gone way up and selling out every fucking show.
Dude, totally. It's the same phenomena that got Steely Dan a best album in the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
Or 2000s or something, when Steely Dan really had no business getting a Grammy or whatever.
I know.
It was that nostalgia.
Yeah.
It was
Remember when Jethro Tull won Best Metal Act over Metallica?
exactly. It's that give it 20 years and it'll give it 15, 20 years and it'll swing back into cool.
I mean, we even see the last couple of years, like 90s nostalgia, go way the fuck up.
Oh my God. And what trips me out, because I remember the 90s. I mean, shit, I remember the 80s, of course. And the 90s, in terms, I don't know, I just felt very disconnected to music in the 90s. There were some, I don't know, there were some that I loved. Chili Peppers I was cool with. God, I'm not going to lie, the 90s, I was buried in the 60s and 70s music-wise.
Yeah.
Aside
90s
from-
was mostly when I was exposed to, whatever my parents listened to. So it's always like
Yeah,
Journey,
right.
Foreigner, Bon Jovi, Def Leppard,
Right.
all that sort of stuff. And then later on, I went back and discovered all the 90s, Nirvana and all that stuff. But the only ones that I really, truly enjoyed, Karabi, was Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Slipknot, Korn, Seven Dust.
We,
So it's
we
like
have to
part-
address what's happening on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt, I apologize.
No.
But, yeah, I remember when MTV announced this. Let's see. He's upset by a woman, being exposed being a woman, and now violence. Yeah,
Sadly, didn't end there because we all lived through the Tommy and Pam shit.
yeah, right. Yeah, Tommy's a piece of shit. Dude, I know that happened like an hour and 10 minutes ago. Why are you reminding us?
Tom Zutaut, Captain Obvious.
So the part about Vince Neil's daughter is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, even with all the shitty things, like, he did not deserve that to
no,
have
God,
that happen.
no, nobody.
Not at all.
Right. They very much take that angle in this film
Yeah.
to the point where they try to draw like a karmatic equivalency. You know what I mean? In that Vince has sinned and now Vince is paying for the wages of those sins, right?
Right.
But at the expense of his daughter, in terms of the narrative, that's very narcissistic and inverted.
And this
the
is
way-
telling right here because Charisse is on one side of the bed trying to be comforted by her
Who's
parents and
completely
her sister
comforted,
and all
surrounded
that.
by family,
Vince
and
is on the
is
other side
isolated and
alone.
I mean, I'm not going to try to break down what the man was going through.
Yeah.
The way the story frames it, well, I'll leave it to our audience to come to a conclusion with that.
Yeah.
Then Nicky finds out that he finds out where his dad is finds out he's dead and buried, and finds out that his younger half brother, who looks way older than him, was like a hardcore fan. And grew
Yeah.
up like with their music. No, the dude looks 10 years older. He had a heart attack on Christmas Day, and Nikki Sixx wanted to name the band Xmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it now. Ghostbusters.
Ghost Chasers.
Oh, that's so rad. Nikki Sixx and Bill Murray.
And here's some glass that Tommy hasn't punched yet.
Yeah, right.
I was married.
Yeah, right. Hey, sexy Thor.
Yeah.
I shit on something that was really important to you.
It's okay. We'll get beyond 8 episodes.
Oh, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. You're supposed to say, "What's that, lightning lad?"
What's that, lightning lad?
The front seat of your car. But no, what you said was, "Fuck you." It's not my fault,
Hey,
right? It's our fault. It's everybody's fault.
You brought it up first in the Dan's Bad Advice on Nerd Bliss
Because
100.
it was bad advice, okay? Come on now. That's not real Dan. That's like Motley Crue movie Dan. Okay?
Yeah, well, you were trying to lead me to a joke, and I intercepted you with a zinger of my own.
Yeah.
It happens.
Okay.
Deal with it.
Turnover, dude. Total turnover. Oh, thank God he got the operation finally. Let's go get our singer back.
Look what Jesus did.
He looks more like Danzig, like the actor playing Mick Mars. Looks like he could be playing Danzig.
I mean, definitely if you put on like 20 pounds more muscle too. God.
Yeah, right. got all yoked up.
We could produce a Danzig movie. Get this dude.
I was scared after we lost Razzle. I was scared of everything that ever mattered. I'm a dreamer.
Lad, let's do it.
Go.
Had to run away high, so I don't come home low. Just when things went right, doesn't mean they were always wrong. Just take this song, and you'll never feel left all alone. Take me to your heart.
Fill me
In your bones, just one more night.
And I'm coming on this long and windy road.
I'm on my way.
Look how fucking cool they are now. They don't even look like they're in their 60s.
Home sweet home. Tonight, I'm on my way.
Oh my god, yeah, Nikki Sixx is the bass player, dude. The least important member of the band is like the hero star of it all.
Home sweet home.
Fucking made it, bro. We're not dead or in jail, and fuck you, because we're not. Every time you wake up and look in the mirror, look at the entire construct that is your world, eat my dick, motherfucker. That ain't us. We're better than that. We're better than that.
That's Motley fucking Crue. That's Thunder fucking Talk.
That's right. Still rocking the leather pants. Like 3 out of 4 of them.
Yeah.
I remember I tried to be in a band when I was in the 6th grade. Got myself a guitar, 7th grade. And a buddy of mine got me some leather pants that were like 2 sizes too small. And I squeezed into them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I ripped out so many pubes. And I'd just gotten those pubes. Those were like first edition pubes. Completely ripped out. Leather pants. 12 years old.
Yeah. You know, I used to play in a band back in 11th and 12th grade.
Yeah, you're for real. You actually play guitar.
Yeah. You know who my other guitarist was?
No.
Alex Thompson.
Oh, no. For real?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that dude. Yeah. Shout out Alex Thompson.
He and his cousin are the ones that got me into Motley Crue.
Nice. See, it was all real. All of it.
All of it.
We took a bunch of 16 millimeter home footage of it.
My heart kickstart my heart.
See, the real Nikki Sixx back then. Maybe that was the fake one. Anyway, that looked like a girl I dated way back.
True. Can you smoke like that?
Sort of dated, not really. Can I smoke like that? Yeah. If I,
The real guys rehearsing.
Right? Yeah, I could smoke like that if I were, I don't know, drunk.
Whoa, Machine Gun Kelly just aged 30 years.
Dude, Tommy Lee just ate Machine Gun Kelly. You know, I got my tattoo, my one and only tattoo. I got at Sunset Strip Tattoo. Same tattoo Motley Crue used to get their stuff at. I remember sitting in the chair and looking up and seeing all the photographs and autographs along the wall. And right there, just to the left of my chair, was Tommy Lee sitting in that exact same chair. And I was like, oh, shit. And you could see it in the Girls, Girls, Girls video. The same tattoo shot. Sunset Strip Tattoo.
You know, back in 2009, I used to watch L.A. Ink just because I kept looking out for the Nikki Sixx cameos. And then I was just like, oh, wait, this whole tattooing stuff is really cool, too.
But it was Nikki Sixx that got you into tattooing?
Yeah, well, because back then he dated Kat Von D.
Isn't she a Nazi? Or she sleeps with Nazis? She does. That's who that is, isn't it?
I know. I lost track of her love life after Jesse James.
But it keeps showing up on the Facebook, Kat Von D, and I'm like, why does that sound sort of familiar? Yeah, I think she dates Nazis, dude.
Huh.
Oh.
Ants.
They show Samantha Fox, who was an actress / model / musician.
Yeah.
In a hot tub, like limo, topless, I think, in a few moments. So I was watching this last night, and I was like, oh, dude, that's Samantha Fox.
Me.
That's right. 'Cause, you know, I was like, oh, dude, that's Samantha Fox. Me. That's right. 'Cause, you know, I was like, oh, dude, that's Samantha Fox. Me. That's right. 'Cause, you know, I was like, oh, dude, that's Samantha Fox. Me. That's right. 'Cause, you know, I was like, oh, dude, that's Samantha Fox. Yeah, Mick Mars, for level as he is like the least of the interesting. Not to say that they're all not interesting, but the least interesting of the whole band. And yet he's their guitar player, dude. He's the lead guitar player. You know?
I know. And then
he has like, yeah, it's Samantha Fox, right? Right?
I don't know.
Dirty magazines and listen to rock and roll in the 80s. Give us a call at 864
715-9446.
Yeah, let us know if that was Samantha Fox.
Kickstart my heart.
Yeah, right.
And this is The Dirt, one of the original songs they recorded for this.
Right. Oh, shit. Goddamn Netflix. Love, Death, and Robots. Well, I'm not trying to sell that. Yeah, so, no, again, it's not that I hate that I love Motley Crue. I love that I hate Motley Crue. And so do they. They're exactly the people that we think they are, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of burned out listening to myself talk about this.
Yeah. Fantastic music.
No, good movie.
Shitty people, baby.
Great actors. Inappropriate script. Yeah. I give The Dirt. What kind of rating system can we give that isn't trademarked? I give it 14 lightnings. I give it 6 lightnings.
I'll give it
23 lightnings.
give it 8 lightnings.
You give it 8 lightnings. I'll give it a.
I'll give it 8.5 sexies
8.5 sexies. Okay, yeah, I think that equals like
out of 10 sexies.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to dispute that. Yeah, there you go. Motley Crue, The Dirt, Netflix. Go watch it. This has been Lightning Lad.
And Sexy Thor.
Talking about Motley Crue to you.
The Dirt.
Yeah.
Still on Netflix.
If you actually listen to this, if any one person listens to this, hit us up and tell us that you listen to it. And we'll tell you that we'll give you a prize. But like Motley Crue, we're just full of empty promises. I mean, to the people in our lives, to ourselves, I guess we're brothers, right, and sisters. Beth Kavika, watch The Dirt, and you can do the A track. This will be the B track.
Yes.
Special edition, the Thunder edition of The Dirt, DVD, Blu-ray, and there's like a code for Voodoo. Bye.
Bye. Let's go get some Coronas.
Yeah.